You ever watch someone get betrayed and instead of screaming, they get quiet? Yeah, this is that kind of story. And I'm telling it from the outside because I was the one sitting on the other end of the phone when everything flipped. I'm Janelle. Caleb is my best friend, and his wife, Marisa. She's the kind of charming that makes people ignore red flags until the flags are literally on fire. So listen, stay with me, because this isn't just a cheating story. This is what happens when a patient man hits his limit and decides his feelings don't get a vote anymore. And when we're done, I want you to tell me in the comments, did Caleb go too far, or did he finally do what most people are too scared to do? Here's how it started. At 9:07 a.m., Caleb texts Marisa, "Hey, you good? Call me when you can." No response. By noon, he sends another, "Did you see my message?" Nothing. By dinner, he's not even eating. He's just moving food around on a plate, like he's trying to solve a puzzle that keeps rearranging itself, I know, because he called me voice calm too calm. He goes, "She's not answering, and I don't know why my stomach feels like it's falling." And I said, "Okay, breathe, maybe her phone died." And he said, "Yeah, maybe." But his maybe sounded like he already knew the answer and his brain was just being polite about it. Fast forward, 10:58 p.m. He's on his couch, lights low, TV on mute, a container of leftover pad thai on the coffee table. Like dinner is just something you do to keep your body from noticing you're panicking. And then, right at 11, the lock clicks. I wasn't there in person, but he told me later, so clearly I could hear it like I was standing in the hallway. He said the first thing he noticed was the confidence. Not guilt, not nervousness, confidence. Marisa walks in, wearing that glossy, "I'm the main character," energy heels sharp on the floor, coat perfectly draped hair, done like she'd been preparing for a reveal. No hello. No, sorry I'm late. No excuse. She drops her bag, leans against the wall and smiles like she's about to deliver a punchline, and she says, "I slept with my director and I'd do it again." Not "I messed up," not "I made a mistake," not even "I hate myself for this," just "I did it, I enjoyed it, and I'd repeat it." Caleb told me the room went quiet. So quiet the fridge hum sounded loud. And here's the part that still gives me chills. He didn't yell, he didn't slam anything, he didn't beg. He took one more bite of pad thai slow, like he was tasting the exact moment his marriage died. Because cheating is one thing, but bragging about it? That's not a mistake. That's a message. Marisa watched him waiting for the explosion because people like that need chaos. It makes them feel in control. She goes, "You're not going to say anything?" And Caleb wipes his mouth, looks up and says, "Congrats." One word. No speech, no tears, no performance. Just congrats. And Marisa's face did this tiny glitch like her brain reached for a script and the script wasn't there. Because calm scares people who were counting on your emotions. Caleb told her, "Sleep wherever you want tonight." Then he grabbed a blanket and laid on the couch staring at the ceiling. Like, this isn't the end of my life. This is the end of her access to it. And that's when Caleb became a different kind of dangerous, not violent, not petty, strategic. He called me at 1:12 a.m., and I answered half asleep thinking someone died. He whispered, "Don't freak out. But I need you to hear me. I'm not staying, and I'm not arguing, I'm planning." I sat up and said, "Caleb, are you okay?" And he goes, "I'm hurt, but I'm done." And then he said the wildest sentence, like it was a grocery list. "I'm starting Operation Clean Exit." I swear I could hear his brain clicking into place like a filing cabinet closing. The next morning he made coffee, the kind of strong coffee that feels like it could sign legal documents. Marisa walked out wearing his sweatshirt, acting normal like last night was just a dramatic scene. She already moved past. She says, "Can you make me coffee?" Like she didn't just toss a grenade into the relationship and walk away smiling. Caleb takes a sip of his mug and says, "Sure you want the director special?" She freezes eyes narrow. "What is that supposed to mean?" And he says, "Black bitter, served cold like honesty." And I know that sounds funny, but the way he told it, it wasn't a joke. It was a boundary in a cup. Marisa tried to pivot like they always do. I was stressed, You've been distant. You don't make me feel wanted. Classic blame shifting, classic gaslighting, classic let me rewrite reality so you doubt your own eyes. But Caleb didn't bite. He didn't defend himself. He just said, so your solution was sleeping with your boss because you felt neglected? Pause. That's not a coping mechanism, that's sabotage with lipstick on it. And she got mad, because when you don't argue back, they can't twist your words. That whole day, Caleb didn't rage. He organized, changed passwords, moved money, pulled documents, screenshotted, everything, called a lawyer, checked leases, updated beneficiaries, even canceled her access to the streaming accounts. Petty? Maybe. But also, why should he keep paying for the background music to his own betrayal? By day 3, the plan was complete. Caleb invited Marisa to breakfast. Pancakes quiet, almost peaceful, like the calm before a storm that only one person knows is coming. And next to her plate, he placed an envelope. Marissa smiles like, oh, cute, a love note. Maybe he's finally going to fight for her. She asks, what's this? Caleb says, your review. She laughs until she opens it. Divorce papers, asset breakdown, a clean timeline, and instructions so clear they could have been written by an accountant with a broken heart. Marissa's face collapses. She snaps, you're heartless. You're overreacting. You're ruining everything. And Caleb just sits there, hands folded, and says, I'm not ruining anything. Pause. I'm exiting what you already destroyed. And that's the truth. Nobody wants to say out loud. Sometimes leaving isn't revenge, it's survival. Sometimes the calm person isn't weak. They're just done donating their peace to someone else's chaos. So now it's your turn. If your partner walked in late at night, looked you dead in the face and bragged about cheating, and said they'd do it again, what would you do? Would you explode and go full chaos mode? Would you try to work it out and ignore the disrespect? Or would you go quiet, get strategic, and build your exit plan in silence? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you want more messy relationship stories with dark humor, real-life lessons, and those, wait, what would I do? Moments, hit like, subscribe, and tell me what kind of betrayal story you want next. Workplace affair, family drama, best friend, backstab, or the slow burn toxic relationship.